There's also this. I think this might be the area. No, I saw yesterday when I was looking around the cleaners kind of base that they have up here, where there's the depot, their production line. Is that on the list of places we're going to look at today?
Yeah, we're getting close to that. This is kind of the outskirts of that area. So when they move a little more north, I think we'll check that out.
Someone's using Showstopper. Oh. Nice.
That building is actually one of my favorite ones. That's another real place in New York where the building goes around the street, right? Cars, a main street drives straight through the middle of the building, and we were able to kind of recreate that. It's pretty cool.
So I think the guys are still heading north. That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't want to hit this point too hard, but that guy there up on the roof of the car that kind of ambushed them, I've never seen that guy there. He's totally spawned to give them a new challenge.
Can you go a little bit into that, how that system works? Tony tried to explain it to me a little bit. I mean, I found it super interesting, so I guess I want to see how you guys explain it and see if it's just as interesting.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, basically what it's doing is we have a bunch of behind-the-scenes tuning we can do, right, to try to create different paces of gameplay for the players, different AI combinations. But we're filling it with possibilities, and then based on where the player is, it's spawning unique engagements each time. So it's based on the player's line of sight, where they are, what kind of smart spawn locations there are to place an enemy at. And then there's a whole budget system that's kind of tracking how much AI budget is there to spawn? How many AI can I spawn right now? How difficult can I make this combat for players, right? Yeah. So when you're playing Resistance, it has a lot more room to make things very challenging for you. When you go do the alerts, it's more challenging than this. And we can kind of fine-tune and craft gameplay while still keeping it really replayable because it's different every time.
That was the huge push, was the dynamic nature of it, the fact that it's going to be different every time you play. Anytime you step into West Side Pier, you're going to have a different experience, whether that's the different alerts, different AI structures. Everything's going to be different. We didn't want it to be stale at all.
Perfect.
And it works.
This was
it's really cool.
Yeah, this was a cleaner production line that I was talking about earlier. They just kind of walked past it. If people took a look at it, you can kind of see the progression of what the cleaners have been doing here. It's really cool.
Yeah, there is a narrative storyline happening in West Side Pier, and some of that is exposed and talk about how the factions have arrived and what they're doing here.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the cleaners have been doing, or is that something you want to keep?
Hey, that's, as kind of a story guy, I'd love for players to discover it, but
okay, no, I'm fine with that.
They're all I don't want to say driving like they're driving their trucks, but all the factions are driving here for a specific reason, and that's as much as I'll go into.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to find out what the reason is. I legit don't know, so I'm going to have to go through these audio logs myself, which would be really cool. All right. Oh, I'm so glad we got some nighttime in here. This looks incredible, guys.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, the art team crushed it.
Yeah, they continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and as far as propping and composition and stuff, they're world tier, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Guys, there are some FPS drops in this build. This hasn't been optimized. Like I said earlier, this is a dev build, so there are a lot of unoptimized things in there. So do not worry, that is on our list of things to do. But we wanted to make sure that we show you where we're at, because I think that's really important.
Right.
I'd love to get to the point where we can show you white box stuff, but
oh man,
that'd be great.
Not today. Not today. Guys, why didn't you put textures on anything?
We just forgot.
Oh, we just forgot. Oh, no textures. Oh. All right, so there are, what are those activities called? I saw a couple of them on the map earlier, where you have the waves of enemies coming in.
Yeah, so those are the alerts. So if you look on their mission tracker right now, they have an alert that's unauthorized access, and so their goal right now is to reach the area, and then the objective will kind of update as it pulls you through it. This one in particular is, well, we'll see when we get here in just a second.
Okay.
But it's kind of a defend sequence.
We know because those sequences are quite long, right? We're not gonna have time to go through those today because they are quite massive.
These particular alerts can be, I wouldn't say they're all terribly long, but they're a huge pace changer from the normal flow as you move around West Side Pier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're kind of pushing them to be, around the neighborhood of 3 to 5 minutes of really heightened combat, and really kind of continuously mix up the pace of just the West Side Piers experience.
Guys, that wasn't a pun. I used massive in the sense not close to the studio.
It's all right.
I should have said Redstone. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Again, we don't have a release date for this yet, guys. We wanted to show you some early stuff, but we'll be showing you more. There's a lot coming in 1.8. People may have noticed on the map that sometimes there's D-Tech outside the dark zone. What is up? What is up with that?
Yep, D-Tech is the long forgotten resource in the game, and we wanted to make it important again. So
Okay.
there's a new way that we're going to allow players to optimize their gear, and it's going to use D-Tech.
Okay. I think.
Alongside some other resources, but yeah.
Okay.
D-Tech is going to be super useful again.
Okay. Good. So,
We
are
understand.
you saying that people should stockpile D-Tech? Is that?
I'm just saying it's going to be used in 1.8.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's up to them.
But we'll have information on exactly how and what and where and why at some point, but that's not a today thing.
Right on.
All right.
Yeah, we're very cognizant of the fact that not everyone enjoys the dark zone, and right now that's the only place you can get D-Tech. So this was perfect.
Yep. Dark Zone's still going to be a good place for you to go farm and get your D-Tech. I mean, we all remember kind of doing those D-Tech runs early in the life of the game. That was like a nightly activity, man. It was fun.
I'm very fond of that.
Yeah, pulling some of that back, but also giving you a really great alternate method here in the West Side Piers for players who just want PvE.
I see already people in chat saying like, I completely forgot about D-Tech. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
All right, so they've completed their West Side Piers alert.
Nice.
They got some loot. All the loot here is obviously placeholder.
Yeah.
And look, they got 5 division tech and some
Whoa.
target intel.
That's handy.
Okay. All right. There are also in the underground is something that you will see changes to in 1.8 as well, guys. I've seen some people in chat talking about it. That's not something we're going to be talking about today. That's Reflections are working on that one, so we'll have to get Reflections on it to chat about that. But there's some really exciting changes to the underground, so we'll get there.
Sure is.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to show off before we wind this up?
I mean, there's a ton more POIs and stuff that we could kind of go through and kind of little subsystems. Like, I think there's some neat things in here, like every, 15 to 20 minutes, you're given a new West Side Piers assignment. So this is something different than the daily assignment. There's more variety to them, but it's just little sub-combat goals, right? So we're trying to kind of layer your activities and really make this just a fun place to have some dynamic PvE. So you might get one that's kill 15 enemies with your sidearm, and the next one might be kill 20 enemies within 10 meters. And they're just these little sub goals that push you to play differently, and it's pretty it's nice. And you can also complete them during resistance.
Yeah, all the pacing, everything's layered to be paced properly, and as you probably saw, you get field proficiency here. So it's a constant loop of reward and feeling good and accomplishment, and help you work towards, maybe your D-Tech goals, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really trying to push these different loops. So you might come out here and do dynamic West Side Piers content for a while in order to get division tech, to use the new optimization station, to improve your gear, to get back in resistance, and it just kind of keeps you in the game playing, progressing your character.
Awesome.
You guys should have helped that civilian. There's a commendation for that. Help 10 civilians, so you can't just pass that up.
I went out and helped my 10 civilians.
Nice. So we'll hang out for a few minutes and just let these guys walk around, and I'll take some questions from chat. Obviously, yes, there are currently issues with some 1.7 things that we talked about earlier, the RPM glitch. and those sorts of things. If you want to know what we were talking about a little bit earlier, you can go back in the stream and check that out. We didn't have a chance to go over what's happening with leaderboards and masks for Global Event 2, did we? We kind of jumped straight in.
Okay.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
We jumped right in, and we can talk about leaderboards and masks.
Yeah.
We made the decision to take masks off of leaderboards. We know that they're awesome looking, and everybody wants them, and so generally speaking, masks will be tied to the playlist commendations in the global event, and one will be relatively easy to get, the others will be more difficult, maybe requiring group play, maybe not, but the leaderboards will still exist.
Cool.
There'll still be rewards associated with the leaderboards, but the masks themselves are going to be pulled off of the leaderboards.
That's awesome. So those, from what I saw, the leaderboards will give out classified caches. Is that correct?
That's
Yep,
correct.
we're going to keep that moving forward. We really liked how that played with people maybe who were close to completing a set. They collect their leaderboard classified cache, and maybe it's that piece that completed it for them and rounded out their global event experience. So that will continue forward, but the hot, new masks are available to everyone if they complete these commendations.
Right.
It's
pretty difficult.
I see someone else bringing
Some
up...
of them are pretty difficult.
Someone else is bringing up is their new hipfire. I think they've noticed in the gameplay build that we're running right now. It looks a bit different.
We have made some adjustments to hipfire. That's correct.
Yes, there are a number of balance changes, coming with 1.8, right?
Okay.
One of the big ones is definitely a rework to hipfire, and that it plays into wanting to continue getting more competitive PvP for skirmish, and also just kind of improve the overall experience to the game. So we are a cover shooter. We want to make hipfire viable, but not the end all be all. So some things that are changing is you'll see the reticle is gone while hip firing.
That's cool.
And also some of your aiming speeds are a little closer to your ADS down the scope speeds. So it just kind of, tightens up the experience and makes it feel a little more tactical.
That's cool. Is this...
We wanted to make it, yeah, we just wanted to make it so someone that's hip firing doesn't force you to hip fire because of the advantages hip fire had before.
Okay. So is this kind of
we're
going
getting
to
some
that
good
whole
feedback.
chicken dance discussion that that a lot of people are bringing up?
It is a big part of the chicken dance, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The other thing I've seen people... now I've lost it. The chat's moving so quickly. I'll try and grab it soon.
Go chat.
Sorry about that, guys.
Go chat, go.
Slow
Go
down.
chat, go.
Here it is. New rogue system? Question mark?
Yes, we have also made a number of changes to Rogue. We'll give all the details about that later, but
Yeah.
kind of as a high line, we've always wanted to give the Rogue a more rewarding loop, right? That means, going rogue and manhunt and stuff like that. So,
But also for the hunters.
yeah, not hunters, the AI, but people that hunt rogues.
People who hunt
Okay.
rogues.
So
Wow.
there
Be
are
careful.
extensive changes to the Rogue system.
All right, that's great. We'll probably have to go in depth on the rogue system
Oh yeah,
at some point, not
it
today.
deserves its own call.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
But,
Yeah.
but we could probably spend a good 30 minutes to an hour just chatting about it. Well, probably a lot longer, but we'll have to keep it digestible
Yep.
for another day. Maybe that could be a long-form podcast. Why don't we could actually just see if that could be something we do in another format. Anyway, I'm just spitballing. We could see what we do with that. But yes, rogue changes.
Get me on a plane, baby. I'll be.
The people are asking resistance and skirmish. We will not be showing those today. You will see them in the coming weeks, but just not today. We have time. There is no release date for 1.8. I see another question here. Is there weapon balance in 1.8?
There is a continued push for better weapon balance, absolutely.
Okay.
We're making some targeted adjustments to some of the exotic weapons. We're improving LMGs and kind of making them more viable. And we're also reworking some of the weapon bonuses, like plus flat weapon damage is getting replaced with a percentage of weapon damage to kind of promote guns with lower RPMs.
Great. So
Yeah,
Savage
love and
Gloves
respect
with
to low
other
RPM.
ones. All right, awesome. Oh, that's great. People are going to be very happy about that, I'm sure. I mean, I haven't even seen chat. But
Yeah.
they're going to be happy about that one. I guarantee it.
Go chat.
Very cool.
There are a lot of, I think, really quality balanced improvements coming with this patch.
You're biased.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just saying.
He's right though, because we still play the game and we still hear all of you and agree with you. So
I just saw that
we're
Yannick
up on-
opened one of the caches and it had a level 1 something. Perfect. Nailed it.
Beautiful.
Dev build, hashtag dev
Working
build.
as intended.
Hashtag. Yep.
Perfect. I love it. That's so great. Obviously, there are a lot of classified gear sets that haven't been released yet. There will be some before 1.8, and there will be some after 1.8, which will obviously be part of the landscape as we go forward. Yes, there will be new
Yep.
ones.
Part of the global event.
Yeah, I'm very excited about some of those new ones. Will there be new commendations in 1.8?
Let's just say there's a lot to test on this PTS.
Yes. We don't have a PTS date either. I see people asking about the PTS. We will get there. We don't have that yet. But I think maybe you guys could yell at Tony and just check